Okay, so today we are playing Advanced Dungeons and Dragons for the Mattel Intellivision. It's a really old game and has a very special place in my heart. This is one of the very first video games I ever played. A lot of people, like I was born in 1985, and a lot of people, their first console was the Nintendo. But for me, my father first introduced me to the Intellivision. The Intellivision was made by Mattel, which is more of a... Is it a board game or a toy company? I think it's both. But they made the Intellivision, which is a video game console, to compete with the Atari 2600. So, I got introduced to this game way back, and I really like the adventuring feel of the game. Back when I was a little kid, 5-10 years old, it really creeped me out as a little kid, going through the dungeon, playing it at night. The game's silent, there's no music, there's monster noises, but there's no music or anything like that, so it would creep you out, and it was a really scary game. Now you play it, and obviously it's just goofy, but it was really special for its time. So, without any further ado, let's get started. In the game, there are 4 difficulties. There's easy, medium, hard, and I guess what you would call extreme. They didn't call it extreme back then, obviously. I don't even think they named them. I think they just called them difficulties 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to go with difficulty 2, which I would call medium. Basically, the difficulty just defines how big the dungeon is you're playing. So, I'm going to go with 2. Let me just make sure I get this right. 2. Okay. So, you can see up there, there's our map of the dungeon we're entering. Let me bring up the map. So, here's the map. You can see that the dungeon is defined by those little green rectangles, and the 2 pixels separating the different rectangles represents ladders. You use ladders to... You know what? This music's too loud. Okay. Alright, let's try this again. This map here represents the different floors of the dungeon. The colors of the floors defines the type of enemies you're going to encounter on those areas of the dungeon. So a green floor, like the one I'm in, means you'll be encountering enemies that are of a physical type, meaning they use weapons such as swords, spears, axes, that sort of stuff. The olive-colored part of the dungeon means that you're entering a part of the dungeon with mixed monsters, which means some are of a magical type and some are of a physical type. Now there's a third type of dungeon which isn't on the map, which is a blue one, a blue dungeon, and a blue means all magical creatures. So in that case, you're encountering more like creatures that can shoot lightning bolts and fire bolts and that type of stuff. So, well, let's get started, and I can kind of explain as I go along. The Intellivision was a really old console, and its controller was more of like a telephone almost. I actually put a picture in the bottom right. Where is it? Well, in the bottom right of the stream, you can see the picture of the Intellivision controller. It looks like a telephone with a disc at the bottom, and you would slide these little inserts over the phone portion of the controller to know what you're doing in the game. So I've included the insert in the stream, so you can see what each of the buttons on the phone. It's not really a phone, but I call it a phone because it basically is a phone. But each of the different buttons does something different. So the overlay shows you what all the buttons do. Now I'm playing it on the computer, but all of the buttons still relate. So 1 is pick up, 2 is swap hands, 3 is rotate your backpack, 4 is open, such as doors or chests, 5 is use, using items, magical items and using potions. 6 is swapping items into your backpack like this. Attack is 7, which I can't use. 8 is rest. Resting is anytime you get hurt, that's how you... Sorry, let me back up. How you level up in the game is you get in fights, and then you rest after the fight, and you gain health from that. It's a little different than leveling up. It's like you gain experience through your battles. Or sorry, you gain more health through your battles. In the bottom right corner you've got your health hit points, which I've got 16, and I've got 8 magic hit points. So if I'm getting hit by magic attacks, it's subtracted from my magic hit points. If I'm getting hit by physical attacks such as swords, axes, spears, that's taking from my physical hit points. I've got 0 armor, which is why it says 0/0. And my bow I'm holding does 6 damage and 0 magical damage. So let's get going. There's a lot to explain, but that's just the basics. So what I passed there was a ladder. Ladder will take you down to the lower parts of the dungeon. Right now I'm on floor 1. We don't necessarily want to go lower into the dungeon just yet. I'm going to lower the volume on this music just a little more. The reason I added the music is the game has no background music at all, and you probably want some ambiance music. So here is it's like a little chest almost. It's not a chest, I forget what they call it, but usually contains jewelry. I found a necklace. Okay, here's a spear. So pick that up and I'll put it in my backpack by pushing swap pack. Pick my bow back up. Here's a pack of arrows. We're gonna go back out into the dungeon. That was a pretty strong spear, actually. 21 damage, way higher than my bow. However, spears and axes are one-time use weapons. Don't ask me why they did it that way. That's just how they chose to do it. Oh, here's a sword. So I can put it into my other hand, but I can't use it when it's in my other hand. Usually you would put a shield in your other hand. But whatever, we'll put it in our other hand for now. Okay, we found a magic book of some sorts. Let's use it. Okay, it's made my hit points blue. Oh shit. Just decrease the volume just a little bit. Thought it was a little too loud there. Oh, another enemy. So you can see my hit points are down to 11 now. If I push rest, now they're up to 18. If you remember before, I was at 16 hit points, so I've increased in health, just from 2 battles. Now, every time you rest, it uses a food. You only have a limited amount of food, so you have to find more food as you go through the game. These dots here represent the hallway. The hallway is basically like this outer perimeter of the dungeon. You can walk around the whole dungeon. Okay, let me explain that thing I just walked into in a second. This is the outer perimeter. So the outer perimeter is always safe. There's never any enemies in the outer perimeter. Now you see this? This is a gate separating the dungeons. So you see here on the map, I am that white blinking dot. as I cross through that gate, I'm gonna cross into the other dungeon on the same. I'm not gonna go down a floor. I'm gonna go across to the other dungeon. So let's cross it. Okay, now you see the enemy there. Since we see him, we could try to get the jump on him by running and hitting a attack. Wait, what happened to my health? Am I down to 9? That's weird. Alright. I'm gonna try to get the jump on this guy. Damn it! I'm not sure what happened to my health there, why it dropped down from 18 to 12. That's okay, we can still do alright though. So there's a ladder to go down to the lower part of the dungeon. We don't necessarily want to do that just yet. Another bow and arrow. Does the exact same damage as the one I have. Shit. So like I was saying, every time you rest it uses a food. But you only have a limited amount of food, so if you rest too much, later when you actually need to rest, you won't have any food to do it. This game's pretty deep for an Intellivision game. So this is a key. Let's rotate our backpack, put it into our backpack, pick our bow back up. Keys allow you to open suitcases, or chests as well, that are throughout the dungeon. Let me just use this potion. I don't know what that did. Keys allow you to open suitcases that are hidden in the dungeon. Sometimes you can get really good items out of those suitcases, and sometimes there's a bomb in the suitcase, which can really screw you over. Okay, here's a sword. Let's put that in our backpack. Oops, I pushed the wrong button. Let's rotate our backpack. Sorry about that. I'm not quite sure why. Sorry, let me finish that thought. I'm not quite sure why the guys who made the Intellivision insisted to add that annoying noise whenever you push the wrong button. Oh. Let me check how much food I still have. Each click is one piece of food. I got quite a few still. Sorry, these represent buttons on the side of the control. One tells you how much food you have, the other tells you how many arrows you have. So this is for arrows. Actually, I'm kind of low on arrows. I'll be alright for now. Oh, there's a stronger bow. Perfect. Let's pick that up. Let's see, it does 9 damage instead of the 6 of my old bow. So there's no point getting rid of the bow. I mean, we could get rid of the bow, but I'm gonna keep it for now. Oh, arrows. Perfect. So right now we're still on floor 1. Basically what we want to do is make sure our guy is strong. On the 4th floor is where we will fight Tarmin. Tarmin, well, the game is called Treasure of Tarman. And Tarman is this big purple monster guy, and you have to find him and kill him to get his treasure. That's how you beat the game. and a spear. So put that into our backpack. So we're up to 15 hit points now. Still not sure why we lost hit points at the start of the game. I was up to 18 and I dropped down. My magic defense is up high now. Or my magic hit points. Oh, shield, nice. Oh shit, what happened to my bow? Did I drop it? No, I must have broke it. Yeah, your weapons can actually break in this game. Like durability. They can wear out. This game's actually pretty deep for an Intellivision game. So yeah, if I put the shield in the other hand, you can see now I've got defense. I've got 8 physical defense, 1 magic defense. So that's not bad. Not great though. Here's another sword. We'll make sure to hold on to that sword, so let's rotate our backpack. Swap this into our backpack. We'll ditch the bow. Okay, here's a suitcase. Now, sometimes these suitcases can really screw you over. But we'll try it. Let's try it. Nothing. So the bow is like a reusable weapon. Most other weapons are only one-time use. Oh. Last time I passed through one of these doors, I swear to God I lost health. So I'm not going to do that again. Even though it's tempting. Okay. Oh boy. Whew. That was a giant, I believe. Oh, a nice bow. Nice! That's a good bow. There's a way to peek around corners, but I don't remember what button that is. Like you can see there on the overlay, it's actually the clear button and the reset button. I believe. Oh no, pound. It's pound and star basically on your phone. But on the keyboard, I'm not sure what button that is. Okay, here's another chest. I don't know if I should tempt fate. Swap pack. Use. Use. Okay, it's just a necklace. food. That's handy. There's a ladder. Perfect. And I'm now going to ditch the key. Whoops, I'm sorry. Pushed the wrong button. More often than not, the key actually screws you over, so it's not even really worth using. Okay, now we've entered into the olive part of the map. This means we're going to be encountering magic enemies and physical enemies. So here you might see a few different type creatures. Like so far we've encountered ghosts, skeletons, and giants. Not like crazy monsters like in the magic section. We'll probably see some. That's a backpack, I believe. Let me see. Can I use it? Jesus, that noise. I don't know why they had to program that. Gold. There's a ladder again, but we're not ready for it. So see here, anytime there's one of these little ball things, it means, first of all, it means you're in the hallway. But secondly, there's always a door in front of it. So even though there's no door here, there obviously is. You can just assume there is. There's lots of hidden doors in this game, but a lot of them are very obvious. Oh boy. Okay, so we're up to 19 hit points. Oh boy. We're doing okay, but we're still not strong enough to take on Tarman. There's another ladder. We don't want to take it because if we go down to the next floor, we're on the floor where Tarman is. And he could easily kill us. So we want to try to find as much stuff as we can to level up. Okay, there's a scroll up there. Sorry about that buzzing noise. If you run up, you can actually get the jump on them by running up and hitting attack right away. Let's pick this up. 5 damage, not worth it. There's food. Okay, another spear. Let's rotate our backpack. We really need defense. Surprised I haven't found any. All I have is a shield, which is not enough. Surprised there's no hidden door here. It almost looks like we have no choice to go but down to the next floor. Oh, the plow's going by outside. I forgot to mention there's a blizzard out there. Battle axe down there. Nothing down there. So we haven't explored everything just yet. Ooh, a lightning bolt. I think that's our first magical weapon we've spotted. Not a great one. Let's rotate our pack, see what we got that we can swap it out with. Swap with this guy, yes, okay. That's a fireball, I believe, but not worth getting, because what we have is stronger. So I think at this point we have no choice but to go down to the next floor, but I know we're not strong enough. If we fight Tarman, we're gonna die. Okay, here's a hidden door. Alright, let's go down. Retreat is 0, just in case we see him. We really do not want to fight him. But I should set up my backpack just in case I have to. Rotate. Okay. Ooh, a book. What is this? I don't know what that did. Okay, here's a skeleton. So we're starting to get up there in hit points. It's still not quite enough. Ooh, a ring. Nice. Increase my defense a little bit. Really gotta be careful. I do not want to encounter Tarman. So you saw there was a ladder there. Technically, you can go further into the dungeon. You can go right off the grid. And you will encounter Tarman again. The game is built to handle that. If you go deeper into the dungeon, it will just randomly generate him on a lower level down. Let's use it. Nope, wrong button. So we got armored gloves. Let's use them. Upgrades my armor just a little bit. So if we encounter Tarman, we want to use our spears, which is our only chance of killing him. That's a weaker bow than the one I have. Here's a soldier, let's kill him. So So we're doing okay. We just need more defense. So all this stuff I'm picking up that doesn't do anything, that's just your points. Doesn't really count for much. There's another enemy in this room. Let's check how many arrows we got. Oh wow, we got a lot still. Okay, we're good. But how much health? We got lots of food and lots of arrows still, so we're good. So what I'm doing there is I'm running up and getting the jump on the enemy. If you run up and push attack immediately, you have to push it at the exact right time. If you push it too early, it'll just make this loud, annoying buzzing noise. Oh, there's Tarman right there. Whew. Test. The mic muted. Brutal. Not sure exactly when it muted. So I may have to do this whole thing again. So we're just gonna go try to fight Tarman right now. That would suck if I had to redo this whole thing because the mic muted. Is this still working? Okay. He's right down here. Yes. So we're gonna run up and throw our spear and then throw the next one. No, no. Yes, I got him. Holy shit. Did it. This is actually my 4th try today. So, that is Dungeons & Dragons Treasure of Tarman. I might do another run. I'm just gonna go back and check the footage and see if my mic was dead the entire time.